Today we're going to take a look at the app IssieDice. IssieDice is a customizable and accessible dice app. You open the app, you have a wonderful die, you can touch the screen anywhere, and your dice will roll. It's great for people who can't roll regular dice, but what's also really great about the app is that it's fully customizable and you can create whatever dice you need for whatever activity it is that you're doing or game that you're playing. So first we're going to hold the settings button here for a few seconds and go into the settings screen. Here is where you'll see what profile you are working with. At the moment it's the default, but as soon as you start to create profiles for different activities, they can be saved, and then that way you don't have to create the dice every time. You can save different scenarios. You can see here that we have an option to create 4 different dice for the screen. And right now they're in the default. You turn them on and off with these buttons here in the corner. Right now, we only have a die active with pips. Going back up to the profile, if I click on this list, right now you see we're only in the default profile. We can create a test profile.
T-E-S-T.
Click OK. And so now we're going to be creating a profile for the test. Before I do create a die for you, I'd like you to look down at the other settings. So the first one is recovery time, and this setting allows us to neutralize the screen so that we don't roll the dice by accident. And that's very helpful when you're in a group situation or working with children who like to touch the screen. And then you may re-roll the dice by accident and nobody got to see what was rolled. So you can choose at different times that you would like to neutralize the screen for. I'm actually going to turn it off for now. You can choose a table color just by clicking on the color there, and if you don't like the default colors, you can hit the arrow and get a whole color wheel to choose from. Here you can turn on or off the sound of the rolling dice, and this is where you choose the size. There are 5 different sizes. And at the bottom is your backup option. So if you've created a lot of dice profiles, you might want to back that up just in case something happens to your iPad. Okay, so we are in our test profile and we are going to create a new die. So to do that, here's my active die. I'm going to click on these 3 lines and it takes me to the settings screen. I can choose a different one of the defaults, or I can create a new die. And that takes us to a die creation screen. Let's give it a name.
Cat-D.
And maybe we'll make
E-T-R-S.
a letters die. Okay, and then you start editing each face. So we can choose from the gallery of pictures. I have a letter right there, but let's save this face. And then for the next face, let's search a symbol. I can say the letter A, and I will pick this A. And actually I'm going to go here to the audio menu and I'm going to actually record A. And I'll save that. And then once you've recorded on your die face, you'll see a little symbol here that shows that there's a recording. So later when you roll the dice, if there's a recorded message and you tap on the die, it won't re-roll again, but instead you will hear what the die is saying. That could be useful for different activities or is also an accessibility feature to be able to hear what has landed on your die. So let's add another die face. This is a P. We'll save that. And you can see you also have an option to take a photo and you have an option to directly add text. Okay, I am going to use a yellow background this time. And I'm going to add a text of the letter S. Let's make it a bit bigger and we're going to save it. And now we have a bunch of letters on our die. Let's see how that works out for us. So I'm going to click save, and I'm going to click yes. And this is some of the faces we didn't do, but let's roll the die. And there we go. And you can see that the die automatically writes itself, so which is helpful when there's text or photos or pictures on the die and you want to be able to see properly. And here you see that this die actually has a recording. So let's click the die. A. And then you can hear. Let's do that again. Okay, it came up with nothing. That's okay. Let's go back into the settings for 1 second. And I'm going to put on some recovery time. Let's make it 5 seconds. So when I click the die, to roll the die, when I touch the screen, you'll see that there's a lock in the corner, and that means the screen is locked. If you have it set for a longer time, let's say 15 seconds, and you roll the die, but it shows up to something that you don't want, or you want to re-roll it quickly, but you've got this thing, you can actually unlock it by holding it, and then just in case you want to roll earlier. And there we go, we righted to the B. That's IssieDice in a nutshell. There's so many things you can do with it. It's so versatile, and I hope you enjoy it.